Okay, so I think we're going to start. Welcome. This is our first EENTalk, and happy to have here our colleagues from the Wallonia region, AWEX, and Wallonia.b. And what we're going to do throughout these, I guess, 50 minutes is to give you a snapshot of different international scaling opportunities for the companies that you're leading at the moment. So I'm Sebastián Bustamante. I'm the coordinator of the Enterprise Europe Network in Colombia. And maybe we can start to go to the next slide to slowly share a bit about what is the Enterprise Europe Network. So this is the biggest enterprise support ecosystem from the European Commission. It's been around for 15 years, and basically what we do at the EEN is to create the platforms for international exchange around commerce, technology, innovation, and sustainability to actually happen. The network is in over 60 countries. We are comprised for about 3,000 experts in different topics, and we also have a track record of around 14,000 partnership agreements and different sorts of cooperation signed within the Enterprise Europe Network. We can move to the next. So we don't do this alone in Colombia. We as Impact Hub Medellin, as you know, coordinate the Enterprise Europe Network, and we do that with a university that probably all of you know. But we have a national consortium of entities that is comprised of 4 chambers of commerce, a couple of governmental agencies, and so on, that help us deliver the services of the Enterprise Europe Network into the national territory. And I'm completely sure that most of you know the entities or have seen or interacted somehow with the entities that you have in the screen at the moment. We can move into the next one. This is the entity that coordinates the Enterprise Europe Network in the country. We are Impact Hub. We started in Medellin around 5 years ago, but we just opened Cali. Very happy for that. And if everything goes well, we will be opening Bogota in the next 6 months. So what we try to do as Impact Hub, and maybe we can go to the next, is to create articulated and relevant impact, entrepreneurial and innovation-driven ecosystem throughout the country. Over 45 programs implemented through our services with companies from different stages, incubation, acceleration, and international scaling, with over 1,200 participants over the last 5 years. We can move on. And we have several international scaling programs. We're going to go very quickly through this one. FYI, you will have this presentation for sure, no worries. So you don't have to rush into taking very detailed notes. So La Filla Innovators is our scaling program for Switzerland. We do this for health and well-being startups. Actually, there are a couple of companies here that are taking or took part of the La Filla Innovators program last year. Every year we do this, and we do an immersion in Basel in Switzerland because of its ecosystem around pharma and health sciences. Our program, next please, tailored for Germany, is called Softlanding Code, and it aims at validating Colombian products and services in the German market. We did a first version last year for Hamburg and Leipzig with 5 companies. Then we also have a program for the Netherlands. We call it Open Up. Last year we took 10 companies, and I see Camilo from that cohort, and he's actually in the picture, is here with us today. Happy to see that you're still wanting to take Ecosistema Jaguar abroad. This year, we're running a second version of the Open Up for the dairy sector. So we're taking 10 companies from the dairy sector in Antioquia. So a 1-week immersion in the dairy sector in the Netherlands. And then we have a couple of more examples regarding other programs regarding internationalization that we developed. We can move on. And here we are in our first EENTalk. Very happy to introduce you to our guests from AWEX. We can move into the next. We're doing the EENTalks in order to create a closer cooperation between EEN in Colombia and different ecosystems around the world. The common factor or component around these ecosystems is that there is an interest from Colombian SMEs into expanding and scaling into those as well. So we can go to the next. This first EENTalk is being carried with the Wallonia Export and Investment Agency. We have had the chance to interact with them before in Colombia specifically, and I think Marjorie is here. Yes, Marjorie had the chance to be with us today. So this is not the first time we're actually engaging with AWEX. So happy to continue this relationship. And if we go to next, these are the two persons that are going to be here with us today. So Karelle Lambert, Director for Americas in AWEX, and then Rimma Dolotkazina. She is business developer and she leads the Softlanding program, which she's going to present after Karelle's presentation. So good morning, not good morning, good afternoon, Karelle. Good afternoon, Rimma. Happy to have you here.
Good morning, good afternoon, everybody.
And the floor is yours. So enjoy the presentation. We will be accepting more people as they come in. Remember, this is being recorded because we're going to produce an outline of this webinar in the shape of landing pages and blog posts and social media outreach. So yeah, that'll be from my side.
Gracias. Sí, gracias. Buenos días a todos y a todas. Mi nombre es Karelle Lambert, soy directora para las Américas en la Agencia Wallonia para las exportaciones y las inversiones extranjeras, pero hoy hablaré inglés si está bien para ustedes. So thank you for the introduction, Sebastian. Yes, please, next. And thank you for giving me the opportunity to introduce you to Belgium Wallonia and the assets of our region for companies wanting international expansion. So this is a very general presentation. I'm going to go through some major aspects. And then, of course, I'm available for any question and later on. Yes, next, please. So the next, yes, thank you. So the first asset of the region of Wallonia in Belgium is really its central location at the very heart of Europe. Next. From Belgium, Wallonia, you can reach a market of nearly 60 million consumers with a very high purchasing power within 4-hour truck drive. This is the reason why some companies like H&M or Skechers, GSK have chosen Wallonia for the European production or distribution platform with direct access to 66% of the entire European market. Next. Yes, Belgium and Wallonia is really placed at the crossroads of European culture. So we say that Belgium is often considered the most northern country of Southern Europe, or the most southern country of Northern Europe. And this gives a very multicultural nation influenced by a large European country with a true European identity. This is why Belgium is often used as a test market. For example, when Coca-Cola wants to taste a new flavor or H&M to launch a new design line, they often do it in Belgium first. Why? Because if it works in Belgium, it will work for the rest of Europe. And if it doesn't work, they haven't taken a big risk because Belgium is a small market. Yes, next. The proximity to Brussels, the capital of Europe, is also a very important factor because it gives you access to many large multinational headquarters, also direct access to European institutions and lobbying structure. For example, it is also home to many international journalists. Next. Our strategic position implies an excellent diversity of multimodal transport network, a high density of road and rail network, as well as multiple airports and port solutions. Next. Next.
Clicking but is not going. Now it's
Yes, thank you. Indeed, the country and Wallonia is an essential crossroad for all distribution operation between large European nations. Next.
I think it's not going. Wait a minute. Technical problem. Now it's gone. Takes a
Thank
little
you.
time to go.
So, as I said, very dense road and rail network, but also Belgium, Wallonia may count on several airports. Of course, Brussels Airport, which is the national airport, but also regional airports which have become European references. One is located in Charleroi, and it's mainly for passenger traffic. It was the first European base for Ryanair. And Liège Airport, which is mainly a cargo airport, it has been chosen, among others, by the World Health Organization as the European logistic hub during the pandemic. It is the sixth most important cargo airport in Europe and has been elected the best cargo airport in 2021. Liège Airport is, for example, also home to TNT FedEx European Distribution Center and has been chosen by the giant company e-commerce Alibaba for the European platform. Next.
Taking a little time to go to another person. I click and then go. There's some seconds.
Yes, regarding the ports, while Belgium benefits from seaports in Flanders, we also have inland ports directly connected through canals to major seaports, Antwerp, Zeebrugge, Rotterdam, Dunkirk. Liège inland port, for example, is the third most important inland port in Europe after Duisburg and Paris. Organizing your transport through this network of canals allows you to avoid congested logistics handling in seaports and therefore gain time. Yes. Yes, set up easily and at low cost. Yes. So in Belgium, there are different options to set up a company. Either a branch, which is a lighter solution, or a subsidiary, a company, which is a more mature structure. So, for example, a company allows you to carry out sales, which you cannot do with a branch. And so a company is legally responsible, but separated from the mother company, and it has a limited liability. Next. The incorporation process is quite straightforward, so it can be very quick, only in a few days in Belgium. So in order to incorporate a company, you have to work with a notary, then register your company with the Crossroad Bank of Enterprises, and this will give you the possibility to get to register with the VAT authorities and get a VAT number. Then you have to go to get a membership on a social insurance fund, and finally register your company as an employer. And then when you employ your first people, you will have to submit statement when you hire the first people. So regarding the cost, the notary fees are 1,500 euros to incorporate the company, but you can receive the help of a service provider like an accounting firm. And the usual fees to work with such a partner is around 2,500 euros, but they will help you with many procedures, and you will gain time as well. They will help you to go through acceptance process. They can help with the preparation of your business plan. They can coordinate the contacts with the bank and with the notary, and also to help you to register with the Crossroad Bank of Enterprises. Next.
Wait a second.
Yes, thank you. The law has been simplified, so now there are less types of companies. So you have SA for Société Anonyme, limited liable company, and SRL, Société à responsabilité limitée. So SA is a more solid structure, and you have to inject starting capital of a little bit more than 60,000 euros, while SRL is a lighter structure and maybe easier to start with. Yes, next.
We're gonna change the screen sharing so it is more fluid now. Good.
Next. Yes, within the agency, we have a whole range of services for foreign companies wanting to set up in Belgium, Wallonia. One of those is helping you to get the right real estate. The advantage of Wallonia is that you can still find available green Finland to welcome your activity at a reasonable price if you compare with surrounding countries, especially if you compare to Germany, Netherlands, and France, which are direct neighbors. And if we go to the next slide, this price trend also reflects in a ready-to-use building, either logistic warehousing. You can find good premises at around 60 euros per square meter per year, while in the offices we range around 150, 160 euros per square meter per year. And you can see that it's quite reasonable when we compare with the direct neighboring region. Next. Yes, regarding tax, you can directly go to the next slide. I'm not a fiscalist, but corporate tax in Belgium is 25%, but there are a lot of different tax measures that allows you to reduce your tax rate, and we have calculated that you can easily reach a level of 10% effective tax rate. And if we go to the next slide, we can see that there are several measures for that. For example, if you are active in R&D, there are a lot of systems to reduce your tax base. For example, you can reduce up to 85% of all the revenues coming from patents if the patents are registered or developed in Belgium. We also have a very favorable tax regime for expatriates that is advantage both for the individual and for the company. Yes, several very attractive measures like exemption on capital gains on share, for example. What we offer once you are interested to build up your project in Belgium, Wallonia, is to organize a roundtable, and we invite people from the finance department to explain all the benefits of the tax measure. Yes, next. So our agency is really tailor-made service, and we help you at each step of your project. If we go to the next slide, I will explain a little bit about the investment grants. So you can get up to 25% cash back on your project. So how do we calculate the grants for your project? We calculate the total amount of your investment. What do we consider as an investment from your part is buying land or buying existing building and all the new equipment that you will place in your infrastructure. And then the level of grants will depend on several factors. What is your activity sector? Are you a SME or a large company? Where do you want to set up exactly in Wallonia? Because the rate of the grant depends on where you want to set up in Wallonia. And very important for us, what is the job creation? So the goal of our agency is to attract foreign companies and to increase the employment of our region. Yes, next. So this is a map of the region of Wallonia, and you can see, as I was saying before, that there are different levels of grants according where you're going to set up in Wallonia. In addition to investment grants, we have a program that offers incentives for environmental protection and sustainable energy use. Next. So beside the investment grants, we also have grants for research and development activities, because the R&D in the R&D field, our objective is really excellence to allow the development of innovative companies in Wallonia. And in order to reach this objective, the R&D program offers subsidies for industrial research and recoverable advances for experimental development. That is when a product is closer to the market. Yes. So these are the rates of the grants. So you can see that we are going to have a look at the size of your company. If you are a small, medium, or large company, if you are on the industrial research side or on the experimental development, and also if you are going to carry out your project in cooperation with other companies or entities. Yes. Yes, we also work in very close collaboration with FOREM. FOREM is a public agency in charge of professional training and employment. And FOREM, for example, is able to give you information about profile availability in a given area in Wallonia, or builds up a cost simulation for a given project. There are also several incentives that allow to decrease the cost of your personnel. And we have calculated that if you take advantage of all existing programs, you can decrease the cost of your personnel by 11% over the first 4 years of your operation in Belgium, Wallonia. Next. Yes, this is also employment incentives. It's a reduction of the employer's social security. So when you start a project in Belgium, Wallonia, please put the most expensive employee first on your payroll, because you won't have to pay social security charges to the state. And for the next 6 employees, it is digressive financial aid. Yes, next. Yes, in the frame of the European Commission regarding growth and employment, Wallonia has implemented a new generation of regional strategy. This is called a smart specialization strategy, and it's a strategic frame for research and innovation policy, as well as the industrial policy of the region. This focus allows the identification of and the development of our own competitive assets based on our own strength potential. Next. So the thematics priorities consist of 5 innovation strategic areas: circular material, agri-food chains of the future, and innovative environmental management, innovation for enhanced health, innovation for agile and safe design and production methods, energy system, and sustainable housing. We really consider this smart specialization strategy as an international attractiveness factor. As foreign companies, you may join a strong ecosystem, strengthen strategic value chains, or complete missing links. Wallonia really offers you a promising location to achieve your strategic objectives. Next. Speaking of ecosystem, we have developed ecosystem in those strategic areas, and it's a way of collaboration where we put all the stakeholders to work together. So you will have a collaboration between SMEs, large companies, research center, university, but also working together with the clusters. And we have, as you can see, there are 6 clusters, one in agri-food, one in mechatech engineering sector, one in life science, biowind, one in logistics, one in aeronautics and aerospace industry, Skywind, and Greenwind, which is in charge of green technology, also together with the government of Wallonia. Next. Yes, the foreign community really appreciate being an expat in Belgium. Next. Because we offer a very high-ranking education system, and the potential employees that you would like to recruit for your entity in Belgium ranks among the best in Europe. Employees in Belgium are known for their foreign language knowledge as well as the high productivity. We have excellent universities, higher and technical schools, as well as international schools for expats with easy access to also Brussels, Flanders, Dutch, German, and French higher education system, because everything is so close in Europe. And finally, yes, next. Yes, Belgium offers an excellent quality of life with a enlarged social cover and a performant healthcare system ranking 5th in Europe. Yes, next. Yes, the housing market is quite a dynamic and flexible market in Belgium. And next, you will also benefit from the culture and the gastronomy in Belgium. Next. Yes, we can go directly to the next slide. So our agency, AWEX, has a twofold mission. So helping Wallonia-based companies to export their goods and services all around the world, but also attract foreign companies to set up their activities, their entities, create a Belgium legal base and employing people. Next. As we say, once you are in Belgium, Wallonia, you can benefit from all our export services. So we are just not going to help you to develop the Belgian market, but from Belgium, we will help you to develop all the other markets all around the world. We have a network of more or less 90 commercial trade officers that can help you to boost your export activities. Next. So regarding exports, we help the Wallonia-based companies with all those different items that you can see on the slide. And if we go to the next slide, you will see the service that we offer to foreign companies. So we really help you to go through the different investment programs, investment grants, R&D grants, energy grants. We provide you information about the sectors. We help with the tax and legal side. We can put you in contact with our network of partners to set up your business plan. We work both with private and public entities for staff, recruitment and training. And we also help you to find the best place to set up your entity. Next. So in conclusion, this is all the partners with whom we are working in the frame of foreign attraction. And yes, in conclusion, our job really consists in detecting growing companies in their home country and companies that need to expand internationally, convince you that coming to Wallonia is the next best step, and then concretely help you at each step of your program. As I said, there are never two projects the same, and our services are really tailor-made. So we take you by the hand to go through your project. And as we are a public agency, our services are free of charge. And if your project needs to be treated on a confidential basis, we are very used to this as well. Next. Yes, finally, these are a few clients that have trusted Belgium Wallonia and that have set up their activities in our region, some of them for a very long time, and going through expansion projects. And next, I think it's a second reference slide. And that's about it. So thank you very much for listening to me, and open to questions.
Yeah, so my suggestion would be, let's leave the questions for the end because we're still missing Rimma's presentation. Thank you very much, Karelle. Comprehensive, straight to the point. And let's just jump into it. So let me know if you can screen now. It is all yours, Rimma. Welcome.
Good morning or good afternoon, everybody. So let me introduce the Softlanding program. I suppose you see probably the title of the presentation. So let's move to the first one. Yes, that is. So this is the Softlanding program. So basically, for whom this program is destined. So we are working mainly with the startup or a spin-off within deep tech industry. So please go on, Sebastian. And so basically why we are here today is that probably you have an intention to expand your business and to grow your company within Europe. Please go on. So here you can see the map of European Union. So here I'd like to present to you the information of from European Innovation Scoreboard. So why basically one deep tech company prior to establish a business abroad should understand why they need to choose these or those countries. So basically, first of all, we need to understand the level of the how innovative the ecosystem of these or other country are. So here, let me introduce you to the facts, to the ranking through the European Innovation Scoreboard, where Belgium is ranked as a leader, innovation leader, and took 5th place this year. And so you can see that the finance and support, which englobes both private and public investment through innovation, has still an increasing trend. So as my colleague Karelle present as well, the public investment into R&D has a growing trend within Belgium, Wallonia. So in terms of number of innovators, we also classified in the top 3 ranking countries. So you see that even during the COVID period around 2021, we observed an increasing trend. Basically, as you probably know, Belgium has in the forefront tackling the COVID pandemic. So we were the country who exported the most number in terms of vaccines. Also, it is important to understand which is the sales impact on the from the innovation. So here you can see that while the company innovate in Belgium, thanks to this ecosystem, you see that the sales impact is still growing and quite impactful on the activity of the company. And also, which is the point which is quite important, is the firm investment. So yes, slightly we observed an increasing trend since the end of almost the end of the pandemic. But again, it highlights the importance of these parameters within our innovative system, which is our country, Belgium. So please move on. So why I would like to now introduce you to our partners. So Softlanding program, it's a combined program from Wallon AWEX and WSL, who is a European top technological incubator who was created in early 2000. And so let me introduce you some measurement of the success. So this is an incubator, basically, again, for the deep tech companies. And so after 5 years of existence of a startup company, the survival rate is almost 90%. Today, for instance, we can measure that the cumulative turnover of the all incubated companies of WSL is around 1 billion euro. And another important feature is the job creation. So in 2022, there were more than 1,500 jobs created within WSL community. Also, you can observe that the annual job creation it's more than 22%. And another interesting quantification of the success of this incubator is that we can measure that more than 70,000 square meters was built. So basically, it's a building. It's a company who buys or create or construct the buildings in Wallonia in order to grow or to continue their business here. And the annual growth of the average companies who are incubated by WSL, it's close to 20%. So this is our main partner regarding the Softlanding program. And so let me introduce you in what consists, how does it work? So first of all, as a techno entrepreneur, you need to make an application, and after that, between a selection committee between WSL and AWEX, we understand and we analyze whether your application is appropriate to the market, whether your business product or service is mature enough in order to be commercialized. And so basically we do have 2 packs. So it's a one-stop shopping for creation of an entity in Wallonia for, again, let me remind you, for the deep tech companies. So there is an upfront fee for 6,000 euros. So where we provide you with in assistance in the setting up of the business. We are providing you with assistance into hiring for your first employees. We're providing you also assistance to the IP protection. And please, I think that it's something missing on the site of, yes, thank you. And so this is not a short list of the services. So clearly you can choose one of them, or you can combine the both. But the main important point is that you can also benefit of the WSL support, where you can benefit from the incubation at the WSL. You can benefit from the training within WSL Academy. So it could be training on your commercial development. It could be the training on your technological development of your product or service. And also it also include a fee for the co-working space. And the most important thing, I think, while you're exporting and while you are exploring the ecosystem, is the access to the innovation network. And Karelle already highlighted the 6 clusters that we do have. So basically WSL and AWEX cooperate a lot with the clusters, and this gives the opportunity to the startups or to the SMEs to grow and to cooperate for their future development. So please go on. And so here, let me present you a community of the WSL. So I know that today there are some of you who are presenting the health tech sector. Some of you are presenting the food sector. So here you can see the structure and the number of companies who are actually incubated within WSL. So mainly they are health and medtech sector. We can observe also here you can see the 5 sectors who are present. It's electronics, mechatronics, ICT, green tech, clean tech, and the growing sector as well is the industry 4.0. And just to introduce you to some of our recent experience regarding the Softlanding participator from Australia, I would like Sebastian to show you the video from Karematic company. It's an engineering company who agreed and to sign the agreement with the Softlanding. Thank you.
Yeah, let me know if it can be heard.
I think we cannot hear.
Karematic est une société de services en ingénierie australienne. On propose aux industriels une capacité de recherche et développement externalisée. L'idée, c'est de répondre à leurs problématiques d'optimisation de leur outil de production par des solutions technologiques sur mesure. Et on intervient sur 3 types de technologies dans les grandes lignes, tout ce qui tourne autour de la robotique, du computer vision, de l'automatisme. Et Karematic a été fondé il y a 5 ans en Australie, à Brisbane, et aujourd'hui on a souhaité récemment étendre notre activité au territoire européen en créant une entité européenne. La Wallonie est en compétition pour nous avec d'autres pôles européens, les Pays-Bas, l'Allemagne, et notre choix s'est arrêté sur la Wallonie pour différentes raisons. La première raison est très orientée business. On a découvert la qualité d'un écosystème qu'on n'a pas retrouvé ailleurs en Europe. On a un écosystème industriel qui est extrêmement innovant, extrêmement dense. Tous les acteurs travaillent très fortement ensemble, le public, le privé, les petites structures, les plus grosses structures. Ça, c'est le premier point. Deuxième point, c'est assez géographique. L'emplacement central de la Wallonie en Europe, pour nous, est un atout. Ça nous permet de rayonner de manière un peu plus simple sur l'ensemble de l'Europe. Et puis, ce côté central, finalement, les gens sont très ouverts également à différentes cultures, différentes langues. Donc, c'est pour nous un atout pour s'implanter sur le territoire européen. Et le troisième point est très vient finalement de notre ADN australien, c'est la qualité de vie. On a retrouvé finalement en Wallonie quelque chose qu'on a beaucoup en Australie, qui est l'importance de la qualité de vie. On a découvert des gens, une population qui sont fiers d'être wallons, fiers d'être liégeois, puisque nous, on s'est installé à Liège en particulier, et qui aiment mettre en avant leur ville, leur région, leur territoire, et qui sont, en tout cas, qui semblent l'être, qui sont heureux dans leur quotidien. Donc pour ça, nous, c'était un critère assez important de notre choix. Et on a pu découvrir tout ça aussi grâce à l'accompagnement de l'AWEX, qui nous a accompagnés dans ces recherches. On a eu l'accompagnement de l'AWEX avant de monter la structure, tout l'accompagnement, le soutien administratif au moment du montage administratif et juridique de la structure Cormatic. Et aujourd'hui, effectivement, on a intégré le WSL, donc qui est un incubateur technologique wallon et qui nous propose de nous accompagner de manière plus opérationnelle dans nos perspectives de croissance. L'idée, c'est d'avoir un coaching de la part du WSL pour avoir des échanges avec des experts et mesurer finalement l'efficacité du développement business et technologique de Cormatic. Donc c'est un programme clé en main. On est suivi par un coach attitré et pour moi c'est un vrai soutien parce que ça permet d'avoir un expert en local qui m'accompagne sur des enjeux où parfois on peut être en limite de compétences, soit un peu la tête sous l'eau et c'est toujours du bien d'avoir un soutien au quotidien.
Yeah, it was a short testimonial from our Cormatic company, which chose, as Kantan explained, the Wallonia, while the selection of some European countries, basically, they identified few of them and they decided to settle up the business and to be incubated in WSL. So this is why I would like to share this testimonial with you.
Thanks a lot. Good. So we have some minutes left, and I invite the guests, if there are pressing questions, to drop them in the chat, or even if you want to raise your hand, please feel free. We have here 2 experts from the region, embedding the ecosystems in the region with a clear pathway to scaling into Wallonia. So as you write your questions or as you decide if you want to ask something, as I mentioned at the beginning, this is being recorded. We'll be sharing the presentation so you have the resources in place, and as you could see in the presentation, you have the contact details as well, but also happy to assist in case a more direct kind of conversation is required at some point. And I don't know if Marjorie wants to jump in, or maybe Maddie as well, as you are already here.
Hello everybody. Buenos días a todos aquí en Bogotá. Yo soy la consejera económica y comercial de Wallonia, de AWEX en Bogotá, y estoy con el mismo horario que ustedes, así que a la orden en Bogotá me imagino que estarán divulgando mis datos también. Con mucho gusto y muchas gracias a mis colegas en Bélgica por esa presentación.
That's a majority. Okay, so if there are no questions, I can see questions in the chat and no hands are up at the moment, so we can conclude. So thanks a lot once again for the time. We will be sharing on a landing page. We will be expanding this to social media, to different audiences. Keep in touch. There are more EENTalks coming, and see you around. Have a nice day.